Yo, 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 what's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, and we are here to introduce a brand new segment. Now, before I get down to all that and give you guys the names of what's going to happen in today's episode, I want to thank you guys for checking us out here on YouTube. I have to go through the formalities. For the people who are joining us for the first time ever on YouTube, or maybe you're a new subscriber, and this is your first live show, we want to say thank you for stopping by. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. All right, turn on your notifications so you know exactly when we go live. We need those thumbs up, so give them to us in groves. All right, tell somebody to tell somebody else to do it also. Okay, thank you guys for checking us out here. My name is Mike. I'm on Twitter as 49ers Mike _NFL. You guys can go to our website. It is www.nothingbutniners.com. It's spelled all the way out. And you're going to see a bunch of different social media pages, okay? You're going to see our Twitter and Snapchat. Those handles are nothing but the number 9, ERS. You're going to see our Facebook and our Instagram. Those handles are nothing but Niners. It's spelled all the way out. No numbers in there anywhere, okay? Today I'm joined by a special guest, Cowboys FGSN, Cowboys fangirl. Her name is Sydney. And what we're going to be doing today is a Know Thy Enemy. Okay, so what we're doing with this new segment, guys. Now, you guys know if you've been a long-time subscriber, we do this behind enemy lines. Okay, in the week of the game, leading into the game, we bring on the Fangirl Sports Network representative of the current opponent. And what she does is she gives us a little breakdown of news and injuries and things like that. And then we ask for a game prediction at the end of it, you know, final score and all that stuff. 99.99999% of the time, they think they're going to win. So, you know, it is what it is. They're delusional. It's fine. But what we're going to do this year is going to be getting to know our enemies, okay? A lot of times the Cowboys, or that's who we're doing today, they have a lot of offseason acquisitions. They have some people leaving free agency. They change coaches. So we just want to know about that. We're not going to look for scores, record predictions, or anything like that. But we just want to know who we're getting into. The reason the Cowboys and Sydney are here today is because they are our first preseason opponent. So we're going to break this thing down. We're going to kick it all off. Sydney, very nice to meet you. How you doing today?
Hi, good. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
No, not a problem at all. Thank you for making this happen. I really, really appreciate it. We've worked with a couple of different fangirls before. This is your first time, so welcome.
Yeah, thank you. This is actually my first time doing anything like this, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited too.
All right, well, you don't have to be nervous. We are a friendly bunch here. Now, the people in the chat, I can't promise that they're going to be as friendly. You're a Cowboys.
Oh,
yeah, you're a Cowboys representative, but the good thing is you can't see the chat while we're on here, okay?
Okay, good.
So first, let's start to get to know you.
Yeah.
Where are you from, and how did you become a Cowboys fan? Are you a real Cowboys fan?
I am a real ride or die Cowboys fan. I say I'm alone in this because, so my name is Sydney. I grew up in Dallas, Texas. So I just kind of drank the Kool-Aid of being a Cowboys fan. And growing up in Texas, football is everything. But my parents are actually from Louisiana. So my mom is a diehard Saints fan. And my dad is actually a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So our household is kind of all over the place. And the rest of my family is Saints fan. So I'm the only one that's a Cowboys fan, but I rep them all day, every day.
All right. You got to tell me how, because I too have a family that is divided. My mom is a Cowboys fan, just like you are. My dad is a Giants fan. My brother's an Eagles fan. I have another brother who's a Ravens fan. And here I am as the lone 49er fan. So how did it happen to you, especially down there in Louisiana? I mean, how are you not a Saints fan?
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. I cheer for the Saints. And then people get upset when I say that. Like, oh, you can't do that. I believe I can. It's like kind of family. But I don't know. Being I am such a proud Texan. So just being in Texas and growing up and all my friends being Cowboys fan and going to so many games, like, I just love the atmosphere of being at a Cowboys game and being a part of Cowboys Nation. So it's just that I just love being a part of it. So, I mean, I respect everyone and their team, but I'm just over here with the Cowboys.
All right, I respect that. I live in Eagles country. I grew up on the border of Eagles and Giants territory. Well, the Jets also, but I mean, it's the Jets, But I just couldn't do the local team thing. I kind of wish I did though, because it's really hard to get good apparel and stuff, for the team.
Right.
You live, you root for if you don't live there. So, all right, enough of all that fun stuff. Let's get to know the enemy. All right. So let's start with what happens first. Usually it's coaching staff and things like that. Were there any changes on the Cowboys coaching staff that may have happened that is going to affect the way you guys look and play this year?
Oh yeah. So big one was right before ooh, before the end of the season. But our offensive coordinator, Scott Lineham, is out after 2 years with us. He helped turn around our offensive game a little with Dak Prescott coming in as a rookie. But I'm so curious as to this how we got to this move of moving our quarterback coach Keelan Moore into offensive coordinator. Um, Not that I don't think he's a like a valid option. It's just that I'm curious as to how he was selected out of other players, or I mean out of other coaches, especially because he's backup quarterback. He only started 3 games and he's only coached 1 season. So if you talk about experience level, he doesn't have a lot. But in my opinion, maybe it's the fact that he has watched so many games and really just had to stay prepared mentally at all times, that maybe that experience is outweighing more of him being on the field. But I don't know. It's very interesting to me, and I guess we'll see how that turns out.
Okay, and I couldn't hear you quite. What position is he in?
I'm sorry, offensive coordinator.
All right. So,
Yeah.
the Cowboys love their former quarterbacks being there. I mean, look at Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett's
Yeah.
also, former quarterback. And Jerry Jones said, I'm going to have you on my coaching staff one day. And boom, here he is as the head coach. So Jerry Jones
Yeah.
is keeping up with the times. And, he's got a system that he thinks works. And he's sticking with it. For better or worse, right? I mean, listen, you
Yeah.
know what you're getting with Jerry. So,
Yeah.
were there any other changes? Now, the offensive changing, like, is he going to be more of a running guy? Do you think he's going to try to carry on with what's been going on? Do you think it'll open up the passing game? I mean, we saw things change a little bit once Amari Cooper got in the mix. Are they going to try to
Yeah.
open it up a little bit more? What do you think?
I think we're gonna try to open it up a little more. I think, especially with Amari coming in and taking a lot of pressure off of Zeke, it just opened up so much for us on offense that we have a lot of options now. And so I think we'll pass a little more. I think we'll continue to give Zeke the ball, but just kind of keeping all options open, because why not? We saw how well it worked for us. Amari came in and we just turned the season around. So I think if we just continue down that road, I think we'll start seeing a lot more success.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, let me tell you, you're doing something right. Seeing some compliments for you here in the chat,
Oh,
and you're wearing Cowboys gear. That is hard to get from Niner fans. So you're doing something right over there. All right. So let's talk about so there's the off season. Once it starts, coaches leave, new coaches come in, and then they head into free agency. All
right.
right. And that's always before the draft. So let's talk about free agency. What were the biggest moves? Maybe some pieces you lost.
Yeah.
I know off the top of my head, you guys lost your possession receiver. What is his name? The little guy.
Cole Beasley.
Beasley. Yeah, that was.
Uh, it was heartbreaking. I just love Cole Beasley. Um, he's just got such a winning attitude. And just like he knows he's small, but like that he has a big heart and he plays big. So I just really loved seeing his spark and his passion in every game. He always gave 110%. So I was really sad to see him go. But yeah, I wish him like all the best with the Bills. But yeah, he's gone. And then we also lost our tight end, Geoff Swaim. But with both of those losses, really like the only two besides the suspended players, Gregory and Irving, we signed Randall Cobb from the Packers to replace Cole Beasley. So adding him with Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, I think solid, really, honestly. And then biggest news, Jason Garrett is not, I mean, not Jason Garrett, Jason Witten is not ready to retire. So he is coming back. And I'm excited to see what a year off the field has done for him or not done for him. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah.
All right. So that was an interesting one. I wasn't gonna do it, but I kind of got to. Did you guys really expect him to do anything? I mean, he's been going for a year. I mean, come on, like really? Is he gonna be out there for real, or is he just like they just bring him in because Jerry can't let go?
No, I think he's going to be out there for real. I feel like the NFL is such an intense and gruesome sport. Like if you're done, you're done. So why would you put yourself and your family through that again if you weren't going to be serious about it? I feel like there's just no point. He already had a really great deal, and I think he was doing pretty well. So why go back to that if you didn't really miss it and thought that you could do something on the field? So I think he can. I think it's just going to be how hard he works this off season, especially with Cowboys camp coming up. Kind of like the matchups and him just getting back into the rhythm. But I think if he can do that, I think he'll be the same player he was.
All right, it'll be something I keep my eye on, man. I'm
Yeah.
doing my first dynasty league. I've never done one of those before, and I don't know
Oh
how this thing
wow.
works. But I don't think I can pick someone who I think is going to retire soon. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
Another big move for you guys was you started out with the tag, but you got the extension done for DeMarcus Lawrence. Just
Yes.
everyone knows who he is and how good he is and things like that. So I don't want to praise up a Cowboys player, but were you ever nervous that the deal wasn't going to get done?
Actually, no. I think from both sides, from DeMarcus side and Cowboys like business side, they I think they both knew that where we are now was going to be the outcome. So I was never really worried. I did see that a lot, but I was like, there's no way he's going to leave. Like, we're going to get this contract done. It's going to be fine. So I was just excited to see the photos of him signing because I was like, I knew it would happen. But, yeah.
All right, all right. So let's fast forward. There was a couple of other signings, but I don't think any. I mean, Randy Gregory was actually brought back, right? I believe he was a free agent. They brought him back also. Is that correct?
Yes. But is he back from suspension? I might have
Oh
missed
no,
that.
he's going to be suspended to start the season,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. But they did bring
Yeah.
him
Yeah. Yeah.
back for some reason, so we'll see.
Yes. Yeah.
Jerry Jones has a lot of faith in these guys. I mean, sometimes I think it's too much. Gregory, this is what his second or third suspension, right? Like he's
Yeah.
been suspended before. I don't know why Jerry continues to give him so many chances, but I mean, it's what he does over there. The Cowboys
Yeah.
have this. We'll take the flyers on the red flag guys. They'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one thing that there's not a lot that happens in the Cowboys franchise that I wish the Niners would do. But the Niners let go of a lot of good talent because they think trouble is coming and all that, and sometimes deserve. But Jerry Jones is not afraid to pick up. You're going to cut this guy because he's got a red flag. I'll take him over here. I
Yeah.
kind of wish the Niners would do that because when talent gets out, it depends on the crime, obviously, or what's going on,
Yeah.
what the infraction is. But the
Yeah.
Niners just won't do it at all. We're not touching anybody with any kind of red flags, and Jerry Jones does that. So
Yeah.
goes to him. But let's get to the draft. Let's talk about the draft. Some draft
Yeah.
picks that you're excited about. Some guys that you think are going to be difference makers. Doesn't have to be early picks, but some guys that you think are going to come in and affect the way your team performs this season, if healthy.
Oh, let's see. I think, well, I'm going to talk about our defense because we finished like top 10 in the league last season. So I feel like signing some defensive players just to add depth was really good. So I'm excited about the pair from Miami, Michael and Joe Jackson. Interesting names, but um, I'm excited to see them perform. I'm also super excited. This is a little bit biased, but Donovan Wilson out of Texas A&M. I am an Aggie grad, so I am super pumped that he's a Cowboy, but I also knew him while going to school, and he is not only an incredible player, but he's a really good guy. So he might, depending on how rookie is going and camp is going, he might give Jeff Heath a run for his money soon. But, I mean, high hopes. But
Okay.
I'm excited to see what he does as well.
And see, I find players all the time that I like because they're from New Jersey. That's where I grew up. I was born and raised in New Jersey. So
Yeah.
When the Niners sign a Jersey player, I'm like, that's the guy right there. I
Yeah.
stick to it. It's something about like you get a sense of familiarity and it gives you a little something extra to cheer for.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys signed a defensive in the second round. You didn't have a first round pick this year, but your second round pick was a defensive tackle. And so, you guys are ramping up that defensive line. To me, it's already a good one. So it's kind of interesting to see that. And then your fourth round pick, it was your third pick overall of your draft, but it was Tony Pollard, the running back.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw this signing, or with this draft, I can't say signing. When I saw this draft, I immediately thought is there trouble with Zeke? Do you think this is just a
Mm,
thing, or like, not that I think he's going to be as good as Ezekiel Elliott? Let me not sound crazy on here, although
yeah.
the people who watch this channel, they know I am a little crazy. But it's not that I think that he's coming in to replace him. But do you think the Cowboys were worried about a suspension? We know that Zeke just recently met with Roger Goodell.
hmm
Like, he's not going to be suspended, but Goodell wanted him to issue an apology. Do you think that this was a little bit of insurance, a just in case thing, or do you think that the Cowboys were legitimately looking at this guy and saying he's a piece that we have to have here as a rotational guy?
I think a little bit of both. I think they were worried, but not only because of Zeke being suspended, but I think in general, like you said with Tristan Hill, we had so many injuries last season. It was insane. Like we just could not keep people healthy, and I think we were worried about our depth. So it's like even though we have really good, solid players, it's like if all of them are taken out, like who are we left with? So I think it was just a little bit of precaution of like let's stack up while we can, and not miss out on these great players, but also with Zeke of just not knowing and just wanting to have a good backup. So I think it's a little bit of everything.
Okay, I like it. And then you guys drafted a guard in the third round. I mean, you guys. I mean, the Cowboys really believe in building through the trenches, and that's a good
Yeah.
philosophy to have. It's an old school thing, but to me, that's what makes it work. You guys had let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks, and 4 of them were linemen of some sort, two
Yeah.
defensive ends, a defensive tackle, an offensive guard, and then you had a running back and a safety. So I mean, it's it's smash mouth football from the Cowboys, and then you got that
Yeah.
finesse there. I think it's kind of telling what they're looking at, but you can't fall asleep on them because they still have Amari Cooper and
Yeah.
Prescott over there. And let's
Mhm.
talk about the contract things, right? So you go into a year, and right now the 49ers are going through something with a kicker, Robbie Gould. We franchise tagged them. They were trying to negotiate for a long-term deal, whether it was the dollars or the length of the contract. Robbie Gould and his agent were not happy with it, so he's holding out. He's still refused to sign the tender, and that kind of thing can carry over into the season. We have no idea if
Mhm.
he's going to show up to actually kick and perform. We have another kicker that we picked up just in case he doesn't. Um, and even if he does show up, an unhappy player, it will affect the performance on the field sometimes. Are you
Yeah.
guys concerned about that? You have Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper. All these guys are looking for money. These are very important and pivotal guys
Mhm.
to your offensive success. Do you think that any of these issues could loom and carry over into the season?
Oh man, it's like you want to say no, but then you it's all about knowing your worth. I know that they know they're important to the Cowboys. They would be important to any team. Um and but I also want to believe that they want to be Cowboys players and they want to win with the Cowboys. So whatever however that needs to work, um like we should do that. But I don't know. It's just personally I hate that like the money is a thing. Like I'm trying to win championships. So like if I have to take $5 million less, I'll do that because I can make that in advertisements. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it would I don't think it's gonna carry over because we can't really afford that. I think if it did, especially with how important they are to our team, we're just not going to see success on the field, and that's probably going to be handled in the locker room. So I don't think it'll carry over, but I just hope that they know that like there's a way to work it out. So just like let that happen as it happens. Sorry.
All right. So let me ask this question, put you on the spot here, a little bit of
Oh.
pressure. If the Cowboys extend Cooper, right, and they can
Mm-hmm.
only keep one or the other, Ezekiel Elliott or Dak Prescott, they
Oh.
can't afford it. I'm just because they just gave this big contract to DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah.
I think they're going to keep Cooper.
Yeah.
They traded a first round pick for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a 1 year rental type of thing. He's
Yeah.
going to get his money.
Yeah.
So that leaves Dak Prescott, and they drafted a running back, and that leaves and they drafted a running back and Ezekiel Elliott. You have to choose between them. Now, maybe they get them all worked out. Probably will. But if you had to choose between one of those two guys, your quarterback or your running back, to keep long term going forward, which one are you going to choose?
I'd, mm, I'd probably have to choose the quarterback. I'd probably have to choose Dak just because, like, he's the quarterback. Like, this is, and I would say Jerry Jones would have to choose too because he just loves our quarterback so much. But um, he is just the leader on the field. Like, we need him. I feel like it's really hard to get a brand new quarterback and just be immediately successful. And I don't think we have time or the patience to sit through more seasons of like trying to figure it out. Like, let's keep Dak. We've got this together. If we have to say goodbye to Zeke, I'll literally be so upset and angry. But at least I know that like that's one piece that we can probably figure out without having to redo everything, especially with the new offensive coordinator. That's like way too much. Yeah.
Wow. Hey, look, I hope you're right. I hope that they because personally, if I have to pick which guy I fear more, it's
Mhm.
Elliott. Elliott is a game changer. He does it all. I personally hope that the Cowboys choose Dak also. All right, so
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
We'll
Cindy,
see. Yeah.
I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I want to thank you. You're still getting compliments, but people are also like, "This is the Nothing But Niners channel. Why are we talking?" They'll read the description in the title. They'll understand why we're doing this, and they're going to be a little more surprised when we start talking to the Chiefs people and the Broncos and all that later on.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can give out your Twitter handle, any other social media platforms. You can even do your personal if you want to. It's completely up to you. Like I said, you're getting a lot of compliments in here, and that's from 49er fans. So good
Wow.
luck with that. And then if you're working on anything in particular that you want to share, feel free to do so. Cowboys fans and 49er fans alike are going to see this video. So your opportunity now for a little bit of free promotion is right here.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks. Well, thank you for having me on. This was actually really fun. So I'm down to do it anytime. But you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at CowboysFGSN. And then if you are not a Cowboys fan, we have all of the NFL and NBA covered. So you can find basically any team just typing in the team handle and then FGSN. And then our main page is at Fangirl Sports Network. So yeah, you can keep up with all of us.
Awesome sauce. I would love to have you back on a couple of days before the actual preseason game. That's when I want to ask for predictions and
Okay.
breakout players and things like that, if you don't mind. Um,
Yeah.
and so it's the first preseason game. We don't usually see a lot of starters. So it's going to be a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the guys on the tail end that are usually going to lead in all the different categories and all that. But some players that you want us to look out for and things like that, we'll discuss that when the time comes. That'll be our
Okay.
behind enemy line segment. So I'm looking forward to working with you again. Thank you very much for joining. That's really it. No other remarks, right? You good?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem at all. All right, guys, that's going to conclude our first Know Thy Enemy segment. All right, the 2019 Cowboys. You heard about the additions, heard about the subtractions. Luckily, we only have to play them in preseason. Okay, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens throughout the year. And you guys, for the people out there watching, this is going to be a segment. You're going to see all 20 opponents. Well, we got the division thing, so it's those guys twice, but you're going to see every opponent on here that we play this year for the Know Thy Enemy. We want to know who they added on. You guys need to know this information if you're going to talk junk, especially during the regular season. We can't sit there and say, oh, they don't have this and they don't have that if they picked it up in the offseason. This is all about that. It's to make you guys smarter fans so that when we trash talk, we know what we're talking about. All right, guys? We're going to get up out of here, prepare for glory, anticipate pain, but always remain faithful. We're out of here.